Are you negotiating with a narcissist and you want to know more about leverage? By the end of this video, you're going to know what leverage is, when to use it, and how to get it. Hi, I'm Rebecca Zung, top 1% attorney and the best-selling author of the books Negotiate Like You Matter and Breaking Free, a step-by-step divorce guide. And I've helped thousands of people go from lives of drama, trauma, and chaos to step into lives of freedom, possibility, and purpose. And I do the same thing right here with you in these videos. So before we go any further, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so that you can be notified every time I upload a brand new video. Now, let's talk about leverage. What is it? And how do you get it? And when do you use it? And when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're gonna need it, believe me. Because a narcissist does have a plan, believe it or not, and that plan is to take you down. It's to smear you. It's to use everything they possibly can against you. Everything you do and say will be used against you, just like as if you were being arrested, but so much worse. So if you don't have leverage as part of your overall strategy, you will be sunk. You're going to be like put to sea in shark-infested waters with no oars to help you and nothing to save you. You will go down. You're going to constantly feel like you're on the defensive rather than finally feeling like you can go on the offensive for a change. So if you're looking at negotiating with a narcissist, whether it's in a divorce situation or a business partner setting or anything like that, leverage is the one thing that you are absolutely going to need to have in order to gain an advantage over them. And the truth of the matter is that even for people who say, I don't want to fight, and as a divorce attorney, I've been a divorce attorney for over 20 years, I can tell you that every single person who comes through the doors of my office says, I don't want to fight. Nobody wants to fight because nobody wants to spend thousands of dollars with the divorce attorney. Fighting means spending money if you have an attorney engaged, even if you're in a business partner setting and you're dealing with an attorney, fighting means spending money because attorneys bill on time for the most part. So every single person says, I don't want to fight. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't want to fight, and you're dealing with a narcissist on the other side, then you have to have leverage just to get back to the middle, just to get back to what's fair. The problem is that if you are a reasonable person, then you're just thinking in reasonable terms. Well, let's just come up with an agreement. Let's just think of how we can settle this in a way that's fair for everybody. I don't want to take this person for all they're worth. I just want what is fair or equitable. I just want to be done with this thing. I just want to move on with my life. That's the way you, reasonable person, are thinking. That is not the way narcissists think, because to them, the fight, the making you squirm, the jerking you around is actually part of how they get narcissistic supply. They enjoy that. So you are not on the same page from the beginning. Neither of you are thinking in the same terms. One of you is thinking, let's just get this done. The other one is thinking, let's jerk this person around. So you can't come to this realization of, oh, let's just resolve this thing, amicably. It's not going to happen if you're truly dealing with a narcissist. Remember that narcissists have no inner sense of value. All of their value comes from the external. So they need an endless amount of supply in order for them to feel valuable. And supply, while it can come in the form of money and compliments and respect and adulation, it also, for them, comes in the form of making you squirm, jerking you around, getting their way, beating you, winning, but not winning in the same way that you think of as winning. Winning to them is jerking you around. That's a win. You know, it's not even that they necessarily want the end result the same way that you may. So if you want to get anywhere with a narcissist, even though you don't want to fight, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but in order to get where you want to go, you are going to have to create leverage. And it has to be part of an overall strategy. And I talk so much more in depth on this in my SLAY program. And SLAY stands for having strategy. You have to have a super strong strategy. And then leverage, which is what I'm talking about here. And then anticipating what the narcissist is going to do and being 2 steps ahead of them, and then focusing on you and your case. So you do have to have an overall strategy. What's your long game? What's your vision? What's your end result? Where do you want to go? Sometimes when you've been so traumatized by a narcissist for so long, it can almost seem foreign to you to think in terms of, where am I going with this? You know, I can actually maybe be on the offensive. Maybe I could actually win this thing, or get where I want to go. What do I want? It's really hard sometimes to think in those terms because you've been beaten down for so long and you've been told that you're selfish, or you've been told that there's something wrong with you, or you've been told that, you know, you don't deserve to have anything. And so you start to believe that stuff. But I'm here to tell you that that's not true. You deserve to have a fair result. You deserve to have whatever it is that you want you're entitled to under the law. And sometimes you can even get people to settle for more than what you're entitled to under the law, depending on if you have enough leverage or not. But leverage is that thing that's going to motivate and inspire and incentivize the narcissist to want to come to the table with you. And it could be in the form of all different kinds of things. I mean, it could be people that you get to testify against them. It could be information that they don't want out there. It could be a chart of their web of lies. It could be all kinds of different things. The thing is that leverage isn't only one thing. You've got to have a lot of it, and it's got to be in multiple different forms, because you're basically building an invisible fence around the narcissist while they're not looking, so that by the time they look up, when you're sitting in mediation or whatever, they realize that they are surrounded by all sides and there's no way they're getting out unless they sign an agreement with you. And that's what you're doing with leverage. If you want to know more about negotiating with a narcissist, check out my video on negotiating with a narcissist. I also have a video on divorce mediation with a narcissist, and you're going to want to check that one out as well. And if you're ready to do this, I want to see a let's do this in the comments. When you're looking at different types of leverage, what you want to be looking at is anything that's going to interrupt their supply. That's going to be the key, because narcissists just want one thing. They just want that one prize. There's the only one thing that motivates them. As human beings who are not narcissistic, there's lots of different things that motivate us and incentivize us to do the things that we do. With narcissists, it's just the one thing. It's supply. And it can be in the form of good things like money and prestige and compliments and adulation and respect. And it can be in the form of bad things too, such as devaluing, degrading, and, you know, making you feel like a piece of crap, jerking you around, controlling the process. And in a court setting, it looks like ignoring court orders, refusing to give discovery, which we call obstruction. It could be in the form of smear campaigns, lying about things that you do, using the court system as their sword, using your children as pawns, things like that. So that's their plan. And if you don't have a plan, then they will take you down. So leverage is that thing that you're pushing against them. You're leveraging your position in a way against them, and it's going to be in the form of their supply. And the one thing that I really want you to remember is this. That is that they get supply from jerking you around. So how you are going to get your case settled is by threatening a source of supply to them that's actually more important for them to keep than the leverage or the supply that they get from jerking you around. In other words, is it more important for them to not be exposed that they have a sexually transmitted disease? Is it more important for them to look good in the community or in front of the judge or to hold on to their money or something like that? Is that in the long run going to be more important to them than the supply and the satisfaction that they get from jerking you around? Or maybe it's that they have a new set of supply that's better for them and they want to move on and they just want you to sign. That's a good piece of leverage that you would have too. So figuring out what source of supply you could potentially threaten to take away from them will really very much help your situation. So inside of my program, I give like 30 different examples of leverage. There's no one thing that's leverage for every single narcissist, other than the fact that it's definitely going to be tied into their supply source. If you are getting ready to negotiate with a narcissist, you will not want to do it without my free Crush My Negotiation Prep Worksheet. It's 15 pages. It's basically an ebook and thousands of people have gotten it. Just go ahead and grab it. Just go to the link below or go to winmynegotiation.com and it will be all yours. If you are dealing with a narcissist and you want additional support and you want to connect with others who are also dealing with narcissists, come on over and join me in my free private Facebook group. It's called Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung, and I'll drop a link to that below so that you can join me there as well. And if you like this video, give it a like, give it a share, drop me a comment, let me know that you were here. And if you haven't subscribed, now is a good time to do that. Subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. I'm Rebecca Zung, and I'm so glad you stopped by my channel. Remember, today's a great day to start negotiating your best life. I'll see you in the next video.